Hi, this is Cecilia from Tarot by Cecilia, and this is your weekly tarot guidance for the week of October 16th through the 22nd of 2017. I don't know if any of you are as curious as I am about this week, but I have been bringing it up quite a bit lately, mentioning certain dates within the week. One of them is the 16th, just in that time frame that here in the U.S. it's Columbus Day, and I think maybe Thanksgiving in Canada. All right, as we enter the week, there's something going on. Okay, one of the other things that I have mentioned is the new moon, which occurs on the 19th. And also this week, on the 17th, we see Mercury enter Scorpio. So that's grounds for intense conversation right there. So let's see what's going on, because when I was laying down these cards, I was like, wow, they're just true to form. It's about this moon. Between the full moon that we just had at the beginning of the month, which was on the 5th in Aries, and this new moon, which is on the 19th. It's, I'm almost tongue-tied, okay? Because I'm in awe of the whole thing. There is definitely a change that's taking place here. And I find it to be very interesting. It's almost as though by the new moon, you're having a better view. And I don't know how to put this, because there's something in your life that you've taken control of. You have a handle on it now. And you know how, like, when you've been going along and all the change that you wanted to make, all the things that you wanted to happen, you really couldn't see, okay, I know I need to make change. I don't know what's going to come in lieu of the changes. Get rid of this, or what comes next, that kind of thing. So this kind of reminds me of that, being able to view your own life from above. That's an awesome feeling when you think about it. That's not to say that you will feel as though you know everything that's coming, but I think it offers you a much better perspective that helps to give you that type of control. Now, there's also, the things that you've kept in your life and the things that you're, redistributing. Okay, don't need this anymore, giving it away, that type of thing. And it could even be physical things. There's a great deal going on in the world itself where there are many in need of generosity from others. And, I have to say it this way, there's a tremendous sense of sharing this week. Okay, I like that. It's sharing, it's cooperation, it's people seeing eye to eye, coming together on the same plane. This almost wants to make me emotional, because whether this is showing up in your personal life or whether it's talking about the state of affairs in the world, it's a wonderful thing when people can get along, because that's how I'm feeling. There's something good here that's going on, people being equal, not being above one another. You're above looking at your life, but you're seeing all of these things. And like I said, instead of dissension in relationships, there's a lot more cooperation that's taking place. And you're definitely ready for the next adventure. You have been working on this whole let me set myself free. And I think that you're there. Like you've accomplished something that's important with this, because it's about your new beginnings and how you're going to tackle everything. Now, there's still important decisions to be made. There will always be important decisions to be made when you think about this. But it goes so much further. There's, for some reason this week, it speaks to humanity itself and the people of the world. I wasn't expecting to see all of this, but I really think that there is some, great form of coming together to help others. And it doesn't mean that all of us are necessarily involved in relief efforts of any type for people, but it's there, and it's a part of the whole scene of what's going on. And this plays out in your personal life as well. Okay, it doesn't have to be some sort of a charitable effort on your part, because there is a recovery period that's going on here, that you see you're finally moving away from the difficult times, and you've been making every conceivable effort to do so. Most of you have made tremendous progress, and you're working on that one last thing. Okay, I'm honestly feeling that, you know, by the time November rolls around, you have figured it out. It might not be totally a done deal, but it's like right here and now this week, I think you're figuring it out, because there's some serious conversations with yourself. They don't necessarily need to be with anyone else, because it boils down to, what do you want in your life? Okay? You can't spend all of your time worried about what others think, of whatever you do. Okay? Your choices are not their choices. They're not walking your path. They're not with you. But it is definitely in this moment, at this new moon, there's something very special that's taking place. Because this is about separations and celebrations, only a little bit backwards in a sense. In that you're, I want to say, celebrating the separation. Because you're finally separating yourself from that which has caused you pain. Even if you didn't think it was, it's become apparent to you that it is. So this is a very special new moon. And I started talking about this new moon, I think back at the eclipse on August 21st, at that new moon, and saying that it went from new moon to new moon to new moon. And that, you're managing to get to this wonderful spot. And here you are. So I think there's a nice turning point in here somewhere. And something important is going on that just breaks that bond. It's like a moment of breaking out, is the best way I can put it, through what you're manifesting, and you've taken your time to do it. So, that's just it. You have felt trapped, and you've been looking for the right, I want to say, mixture. Because that question, I've had many people ask me that question. Okay, what is it that's holding me back from going forward? I think you figured it out before Mercury went direct last time. Okay, and now you've been doing it. These last 2 months you've been doing it. At this new moon, you're achieving something that's quite special with that part of what was going on. So whether you were looking to move, looking to get a new job, looking to sell your home, looking to get a divorce, maybe you finally were able to sign those papers. There's something very special happening this week. That's what I said. The celebration in your world is about the separation that's taking place in your life, that is giving you the new beginning. So while separations can be painful, this one feels good. It's long overdue. There's a little bit of remorse and wanting to look back. Whatever it is, it did hold a special place in your life for a while. But that's it. No more. No more. That's when it gives me the chills to say that. So moving forth from this new moon is going to be a very special time. And that's what I said. We also have Mercury moving into Scorpio this week. It's very intense. And I have to say that with that happening 2 days before a new moon, all right, the new moon's in Libra, which is going to want to bring in some balance. But Scorpio can be very harsh and intense. And what do I always say when we have a new moon? About being careful what you say. Because words are flying. There's a lot of talking going on. There's a lot of things happening. How those conversations go is probably entirely up to you. That ending / beginning that you've been looking for, it is here. Okay? New moon, things are moving forward. They're moving forward at a rapid rate. I think it starts a little bit before the new moon. I really think that at the very beginning of the week, you're seeing developments. And when you think about that, and you think about developments, there's just so much going on. You probably can't even keep track of it all. So how are you supposed to stop and make a decision when things are just going boom, 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 boom? But it's not bad change. it's good change. It's exciting because this is a whole new area of life that's opening up. You stepped into this back at maybe around the equinox, this whole new portal, whatever you want to call it, doorway that you went through, because once it was all put into motion, it just escalated. It escalated in a good way, because you probably thought, oh, I've tried so hard so many times to figure out how to just put my life in a better place, that how am I going to get to a point where I was like, suddenly you did the right thing. That's the best way that I can put it. You know what I'm noticing here, everyone, is that there's a certain amount of complacency that's been around for a while. That I'm just tired of the way things are, but I haven't known what to do about them. And then this week comes along, and it's not that you haven't been trying, but all of a sudden it shakes up all of that. I'm telling you, there is so much that's happening. This is where your abundance starts to come in. And, there's a chance at real happiness. That's so important, like above all else. It's not about money. It's not about things. It's about, how can I be happy? Can I be happy with less? Can I be happy if I go over here? Can I be happy if I do that? This is a huge transition that's coming in. It's almost this new moon is like a lightning rod for change. It just brings it in and it says, trapped. No, just kaboom. You're out of there, all right? Where you couldn't see any solutions before, you're finding them. And that's not saying that it's still the same problem. You have to remember, you had a whole list, and you made a lot of progress with the list. And now you're kind of, the new moon's in Libra. You're kind of weighing things out, right? And thinking about it. What is it that I want to do? What will bring me the most success? What will bring me the most emotional fulfillment? And it's all about the change. I'm telling you, it's all about the change. You are deciding things this week. So whatever progress it is that has happened, and however it is that you're going forward, I'm telling you, it shakes you out of that mode. If you weren't excited before already at the possibility of changes by the time you got into September, then you're giddy now at the possibilities. Okay? Giddy, a little bit frightened. I think at the same time, like, wow, this is for real. This can really happen. What's it going to be like? You remember back when I said at the can't talk, the equinox, when I said that you were stepping into this new identity. You've been in it and you're like working on it and seeing where it's going to take you and finishing up that last thing that allows you to become this whole new person. It's here. It's like it's coming this week, and you have this incredible feeling of being able to stand on your own 2 feet, feeling more independent than you have in a long, long time. And it's funny because I was hearing John Lennon singing in my head as I was putting down the cards. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Boy, that's, whoa, man, I'm telling you, this week, you're realizing that somehow, whatever it is that's going on in your life, whatever you're doing, it's been a weird process getting to this point, because many people were confused, like, what is it that I need to change for things to open up in the universe to change things? This week you're here, all right? You can pursue your hopes and dreams. This is, an emotional week, not just because of the new moon, but with the things that are happening. But you know what? You're handling it well. I like this. I'm telling you, there's something about peace here. I hope we hear the word. I feel it very strongly. And I hope that there is some form of peace accord somewhere that's global, that's struck, that, puts things to rest, because it just feels that way. It's almost as though people rally together to make things happen. I'm me, I don't get political, but, we've had it come up where I mentioned it a while back, and, if there's a reason, and people gotta, say, okay, North Korea, You know, that's it. We've had enough of you. But there's nothing violent going on here, okay? I don't see anything violent. It's just more like ganging up. And I don't know how else to put it, but I think it's in a good way because it's more like a higher power over everything. And this is not just, globally with politicians and countries and things of that nature. This is you with your life. This is you standing here at this week, at the moment you step into this week, saying to yourself, I can see the future. I can see my future, what I want it to entail, and it's about what you've been dreaming for. But I'm telling you, when I said this a long time ago about there was going to come a point where a long held dream was going to become a possibility, that's what you're working toward now. It's not necessarily, and this is the hard part to explain, it's not necessarily that you're physically working at it at this point. I do believe that it's just that this week's events bring you to believe that it could be a reality. And that's just a wow. A huge wow. Okay. Now, where you have felt cheated in life, I think you're going to see that playing out more so over the next 7 weeks. Okay. You have to remember you still have Saturn in Sagittarius, and that's the part of the journey that you still have to trust. It's like that where you've accomplished so much, but you don't feel 100% about this new beginning. Like maybe there's still something that's missing there. But I'm telling you, it's coming. You keep doing what you're doing. You keep working at it. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm telling you, you're so into this now. And I don't know how else to explain it. There was some sort of mental attitude that, like, adjustment that came in a little while back, not this week, that has put you in this spot. And you just intend to keep on going. You'll be ending this year, 2017, in a successful way, whatever it is, because it's like you've overcome. This is all about victories and taking charge. So you've reached a pivotal moment this week where something very important in your timeline is taking place. And it puts you in that position. I've said it many times where I feel like sometime in November, and hopefully we'll see that soon when we're talking about it, that you just feel like you can go, and just breathe and go, wow, what a wonderful change. I feel free from so much. And, you're rebuilding your life, but you're rebuilding it in such a rock solid way that we've said this how many times? It will never happen again. The events of recent years will never happen again. Well, maybe if you're 20 and you come across Saturn again and it does a number on you. But do you see what I'm saying? It's got a long, long time to go before you ever go through those experiences like you had. So, that's a wonderful thing. You're creating an entire new life. And I'll tell you what, it does not feel, how can I put it? Like, it doesn't feel like it's too much. You're happy to do it because you're manifesting what it is that you want. Now, here we are. And this week is the new moon in Libra. All right. And I'm seeing here another new moon. Okay. Coming up in December on the 18th. There's something that you can't see just yet. All right. But at that new moon, you will. There's a big wish that's coming your way at that point in time. And so I don't think it's like you had a number of wishes. Remember that. This is probably that special one. I just get that feeling. It just feels good to me. And I kind of think that we should stop here because this week you're going to see that life, the pace of your moving on and moving into the new life is just going to pick up. You've done something important. You've made an important decision. You've taken important actions. And life will definitely never, ever be the same again. So I want to thank you all very much for listening, and I'll see you here again soon. Take care.